Okay, we're going part 3 here of Be the Bear. And like we mentioned before, the body makes force 3 different ways. The human body. He can push, pull, or torque. These are some examples of pushing. Driving somebody back, using the hammer on his hip, snapping your elbow straight. Okay, in Pass Pro, when you snap somebody, you redirect them. Okay, pulling is lifting and flipping and slinging. Okay, you're pulling somebody out of their shoes. Okay, you're either pulling them, lifting them up in the air, you're flipping them over. Okay, standing them up, or you're shoving them and then pulling them backwards and slinging them. You're shedding them. Okay, and again, pull, you need your hands for every one of these things. Okay, and torque is throwing. Okay, like a shot put throw, because you're not the straightening of the elbow, but the torque in the hips and the shoulders. The shoulder girdle. Okay, tearing. Okay, which is pulling a guy at an angle. Okay, and double teams where you're just adding force. You're adding force. Okay. Okay, and you're adding force at an angle. Somebody else is. You've tied up with a guy, you've made a 4-legged animal, and somebody comes at an angle and shoves him over, adds force. Okay? Now just using a hammer, okay? A hammer pushes or drives a nail, okay? Pulls, claws the nail out, or torques the nail, okay, by setting the nail close to the fulcrum, and with an angular momentum, pulls that nail. Okay, that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, we're doing this here, and this here. Okay, now if you look at the body, okay, the defender, this is a defender, we'll look at him from the side. He's a lever. Okay, this is his fulcrum, kind of like a crowbar. Okay, here's a crowbar pulling a spike out of the ground, big crowbar. Okay, we know that as we lengthen the input lever, okay, it becomes easier, but we've got to move it further to pull the nail. Okay, here is sort of intermediate, and grabbing a crowbar shortly, okay, the closer it gets to the equal length of the output angle, the harder it is, the less mechanical advantage you gain. So what we're doing is we're trading length for strength. Okay, that's exactly how a lever works, and it always works at angles. Okay. Again, if you add angular force, okay, this is a guy, he's upright, he's just like this crowbar. Okay. If you add angular force away from the fulcrum and not in the center of gravity, it's easy to push him. Okay, it's easy, and you can push him over that fulcrum, and momentarily his feet will drag unless he takes a step backwards. If you can get him in the chest, his feet will drag and he'll topple. Okay, if you put your force in the center of gravity, he will translate. Everything will move at the same time. Okay, the problem is getting there. Okay, someone's got to expose the center of gravity to you. Okay, and you'll move the entire mass all together, not changing the angles. When you add force angular, you wind up with this. When you add force translative, and I think I made that word up, you move them like this. Okay, everybody wants this. It's hard to get. Okay, but again, your whole premise is adding force at an angle. So we know how to add force here by adding it from another guy. Okay.